Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another book review. I just recently finished The Princess Diarist, written by Carrie Fisher. And interestingly enough, this was actually released not too long before Carrie's untimely death, and I would have liked to have spoken to Carrie. She was very unsure of herself, and it talks about her career, how she began in shampoo with Warren Beatty in the very beginning, and her lifelong affair with Harrison Ford, and how she always felt like Harrison was out of her league, and who wouldn't? That chiseled face, those come hither bedroom eyes, that kind of profile that so many women would go absolutely ape over. It's no wonder, because he just had that je ne sais quoi that just immediately attracted people to him. And even before Star Wars even existed, before Lucas came to her, or she 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 read for Star Wars and was given the part, but of course she didn't know Harrison before that, and they had this chemistry. And even though Harrison was a happily married man, he loved Carrie deeply and dearly, and it was very obvious. And it's just, she wrote so many poems about him, and it's very revealing, I thought. And just to see her struggling with her self-image and loving herself, and actually having so much self-loathing and just castigating herself constantly, was an eye-opener to me because of what I'm going through. And I realize that there are a lot of people who really do care about who I am and me as an individual. And going through school and just all the crap that I dealt with, it was very arduous, and I felt like my school years were my worst. The only thing I really enjoyed was college, but even my final year of college was very, very difficult for me, because I lost all my friends just because I wanted to be the arbitrator of peace and be the one that tried to patch a relationship due to just this ludicrous, it actually wasn't ludicrous, it was a very serious thing that happened to another one of my really good friends, and just the crud hit the fan. And because of me just wanting to be the one who wanted to be the pacifist and patch everything up and make amends, and just, I want everybody to get along. I don't want people to fight. I hate fighting. I don't like confrontations. So it ended very badly, and I never saw those people ever again. And my college graduation was just, it was sad, because the only people that I felt were cheering for me were Mom and Dad. And I look upon my graduation actually very fondly, because I graduated near the top of my class, and I did very, very well. But I've done great things. It's just that I have to, basically what I'm doing now, I've given you the gist of everything that's occurred only recently. It feels like an uphill climb, and I kind of empathize with Sisyphus, and I'm thinking, oh, this is just worthless. But I know it's not. I know it's not a Sisyphistic quest. This is something that I know in my heart of hearts will come to greater means and a better end. But it's like my grandma Ruth said, a bad beginning equals a good ending, and I'm always remembering that. And faint heart never won fair lady was another thing that my dad taught me. It was a saying that was very common in my side of the family. I should say the paternal side, raw, yeah, the macho side of the family. People are gonna look at you like you're some kind of creep. People are gonna look at you like you're some kind of freak. Well, maybe I am. Maybe it's one thing I've been keeping from people for so long. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just very, very spontaneous. But you never know what I'm gonna do. Woo. But it's this book was very revealing to me, and it couldn't have come at a better time. It gave me a lot of hope, even though Carrie really struggled. She really did, and I think she wanted people to see her rather than through the lens of Leia, because everybody would refer to her as Leia, and it was sort of like she lost herself, and the fame of Star Wars, the blockbuster push behind it, and it was a phenomenon that no one expected from George Lucas. Everybody told him, of course. We all know that story. Same thing with Spielberg, and who's laughing now? But it's one of those things that you never realize how these small ideas can take off, and it gave me a sense of comfort knowing that even people that we admire still have a very human quality to them, and they are basically human beings, and they make mistakes. And she admitted to her affair with Harrison, and it was really quite beautiful and poignant and emotional for me to read the whole book, even though it's woefully short, and it was one of the final things that she wrote before she died. Unfortunately, and her mother died not long after due to a broken heart. But this is just to all of her fans out there and people who never really got a chance to meet her. If you read the book, then you feel like you have. So I feel touched by her work, and I'm glad I read it when I did, because I really needed it. I needed someone to kick me in the keister, say, hey, stop feeling sorry for yourself. It's not going to help you. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again, like the World War II song so eloquently states, and I couldn't have said it better myself. That song has given me so much fervor to continue doing what I'm doing and to just reach toward the stars. I've been working on Angel of Laughter. I actually started it, and I didn't know where it would go. I thought, do I know enough about Arthur Marks to actually write a biopic on him? I know that Bill has already done it. He's waiting, he's biding his time, or I'm not sure, because I would love to see it, but it's coming along. And when I was writing it, it's after all this crap happened, and I just felt like I don't want to write anything. I just feel so dour and so sad and melancholy, and I'm just depressed and feeling down on myself, and pity party, poor me. My dad would say, I could just hear him right now, are you having a pity party, Elizabeth? Stop it. Don't do that. Yeah, thanks, Dad. I can hear you from up above, and I know you're telling me to cut it out and just knock it off. Thank you for shaking me up a little bit there. But Mom, I hear Mommy say, poor pitiful Pearl. This is the smallest violin in the world, playing the saddest song for you. Well, at least I know that it actually makes me feel better about myself, and I know that feeling down, feeling sad is not going to change anything. Crying about it, I've already done that. I'm through this crying. Crying is just, it's good, but there comes a time where the tears must come to an end. But that's all I have to say about what I'm doing. And if you haven't read the book, she also wrote Wishful Drinking. I was trying to see what else she's... Shockaholic, of course, Wishful Drinking, The Best Awful, a novel. Delusions of Grandma. I don't know why, but I really like that title. Surrender in Pink, and Postcards from the Edge. Postcards from the Edge, that's a really dynamic title. She has way with words, and she's a very poetic soul. She's a bardess in her poetry. I really like her poetry. She has the gift of gab, I guess you could call it. What the Irish would call blarney, I suppose. But that's pretty much all I want to say about the book. If you like Miss Fisher, then I would definitely read it. I know I really aspire to at least have some kind of fame. Maybe not to the extent that she did, but I've had dreams about it. I know I had a dream a long time ago. I was dressed up as thinking it was Rainbow Rhapsody. It was no, it wasn't Rainbow Rhapsody. It was actually Regina Pia Mach the Third. I remember this dream so fondly. It's one of my favorites. I have it recorded, but I was dressed. She's my one character that I think is most like me, and I adore her immensely. And there are times I wish I could be more like her, because she can do anything she wants. And she helps people while she does, and she doesn't come across as arrogant or conceited. She's just a being who wants to make the universe better, and make friends along the way, and brighten every corner of the universe that's dark and gloomy with a smile, unconditional love. I mean, what more could you want? But anyway, I remember the dream in and of itself. There were these people, I didn't know them from Adam's Off Ox, but they came up to me and they were asking me for their autograph. I thought, no one's ever asked me for that before, but it was a lucid dream, and it was one I keep very close to my heart because I feel like it's going to happen. I've had a lot of others that more recent. I had one about Christmas not too long ago. I was sitting in a big room, just warm, very pleasant, comfortable, and there was a huge tree. It wasn't a real tree, it was a faux Christmas tree, and it was just decorated with lights and ornaments, and it was such a happy atmosphere. And I looked up the definition or meaning, and it said it indicates that you have good amount of self-love. Well, this happened before the whole incident with my tenant, which is going to culminate on the 28th, but I'll keep you updated about that. My other dream, my last dream I remember that I have had was one of me making a video game with all kinds of dogs in it for people to actually learn about dogs. It was an MMORPG, and I was the administrator. I was Airedale Terrier, of course, because I own an Airedale Terrier, and people knew who I was, and I would come in oh so regally and austere, and I would say, "No, you can't do that. If you do that, I will ban you." And every so often I would just ban people for being bullies to other people. And it's just not the place. You're here to learn about dogs. If you don't want to learn about dogs, I ban you. If you're here to cuss out other people for no good reason, I ban you. But anyway, I'm not sure why I decided to go into an accent then, but I thought it would be fun, so why not? What else am I doing other than getting back to writing? Actually, I've decided to forget the old doldrums and continue doing what I do so well, and that's write. And I'm gonna get back to Angel of Laughter and just do the best I can, and hopefully I do Arthur right. And I really want to do a drawing. I think I'm gonna really enjoy doing that because I've never really done. Well, yeah, I did Cheech Marin. The drawing of Cheech Marin, I was really happy. I thought, wow, yeah, that looks good. I was very pleased with how that came out. I've never really drawn famous people before, so it was kind of stretching my limit. I haven't done anything architectural. I just draw anime people. So I wanted to do something different. The only three-dimensional things I draw are magic, what's known as magic boxes. Those are simple. I mean, I don't need guides to do it just because I could see this shape in my mind's eye. So yeah, I've always been able to. It's never been a question of how, but you know, why not? I can do three-dimensional stuff. That's not hard. But I really don't know what else to say.